Good evening, friends. I'm the last but one speaker for this session, so I know that I must be very short in my presentation. I'm so happy that the former speaker Rajiv Anandan spoke so beautifully about the involvement of the kids as the true change makers. I would like to just share with you a story, a life story. This happened a few weeks ago. When all of you must have heard about the devastating floods that we had in down south in Kerala, is God's own country, wherein we lost almost 486 lives and impacted almost 5.4 million population, devastating 57,000 hectares of the land of the poor agriculturists, and also losing almost to the tune of 100,000 crores to the value of infrastructure and assets to the small state of Kerala in India, wherein we had the touching story of a girl of just 7 years old who herself was a cancer patient, donated the collection that he had in a small box that she had kept as something so valuable for her, donating to the response of the flood to the government, and that was just 500 rupees from her collection box, which may be to the tune of just $9. That was a beautiful story. My dear friends, I tell you this, we invest with the children, and we believe that children are the change agents for tomorrow. I am Father Paul, otherwise known as Paul Varghese. I am heading the operations of Caritas India. Caritas India is a network of confederation working in 164 countries, and I am heading the operations of India. We work with the 250 partners. And my dear friends, I am here to connect, to learn, and to transform. And that's what I have been doing for the last 20 years, which I started with a microfinance portfolio known as Vesco Credit, with almost 100,000 women actively becoming the partners of the change process, which I really give the credit to Sam Daly, who is present here, who was the previous speaker, who initiated or rather co-founded microcredit.org summit in USA, along with the laureate Peace Prize Mohammed Yunus in Bangladesh. And my dear friends, let me tell you, this has really resulted in a lot of credit plus activities. I'm really, I acknowledge the contributions this man has done for the world, especially for the developing countries, in the form of microfinance, developing and rather diversifying to many other areas. And that's what I'm here for. And in my present organization with Caritas, I'm just sharing you just 5 slides, taking you to some of the important developmental challenges. We know that India is really developing, but at the same time, the global poverty index would tell us that India is on the 48th place in terms of poverty. There was a very strong dip in the last few years, which means that India is growing in poverty, and poverty is on the increase. Why poverty? There are so many challenges, and I'm here just to highlight some of the challenges. One is that of the climate adaptive agriculture and food sovereignty issues. And there are a lot of issues related with, and what we do, we are mainly working with smallholder farmers, leading them for adaptive practices in the event of extreme climatic events. And we know India has 80% of the farmers smallholders, and that is one of our major target population. And we are working with these people more on introducing low-cost, localized solutions and smallholders agro-based farm income methods. So working with the smallholders is one of our major concern and major thrust. And moving on, the modern slavery, anti-human trafficking and migration. What we do? We closely work with schools, communities, border police, railway police, transport department, child welfare committees, child line, shelter home, government department and other civil society organizations to combat this particular challenge. And we know in the context of the country, this is one of the origination points, both inward migration and outward migration. This has been one of our strong involvement area. Moving on, health and nutrition. And in the previous speakers, many of them highlighted this particular aspect. India is maybe unofficially the accounts tell us that it is going to be the malnutrition capital of the world by 2025. And if you really look at the demographic focuses of our country, the tribals, the Dalit populations, they are the people who are really going through these problems of malnutrition. And we work on cancer. Again, unofficially the status, the data would tell us that it is going to be the cancer capital by 2030. So that is the kind of lagging situation. So we work on cancer along with other health issues. Moving on, child rights and advocacy. Advocacy is one of our main components in our interventions. We had the good opportunities of working with the police stations, making them child-friendly police stations and making child-friendly spaces for the children to grow. Yeah. And humanitarian and disaster risk reduction. Humanitarian response is one of the core mission of Caritas worldwide. And we see every other time floods, 650 landslides in one small state, devastating the whole state, and even today in Shimla and Chandigarh, we see the landslides happening and the flooding happening, losing so many lives. And there are back-to-back emergencies when we say this is man-made. So disaster preparedness is one of our challenge and one of our mainstay, and wherein we have children coming as partners in the process as child-led DRR, disaster risk reduction strategies employed in our program. And my dear friends, just a case story, as I already mentioned in the beginning, Kerala flood. See, this is a little bit of data that we have. We received 1800 millimeters of rain in 3 days, whereas the yearly average of rain is 3000 millimeters, of which 1800 in just 3 days. So you can just imagine the floods of flood and the kind of losses that we had. See, these are the kind of issues that we have been facing in a small state. So my dear friends, we reach out to millions in a year, almost 10 million population, and this is a story of change that is happening in India with Caritas of story of change with the 10 million population. Thank you so much for your patience.